Hi everybody, let me introduce myself. My name is Michelle Luna. I am 23 years old. I am a biology student from the Metropolitan Autonomous University in Iztapalapa, and I am currently specializing myself in the area of pharmacological sciences. Actually, I work in the development of new drugs in the pharmacology laboratory, belonging to the postgraduate department of the university. That is why in this final integrative project, I would like to talk about the winners of the Nobel Prize in Medicine in 2021. Sorry. Um, David Julius and Ayrton Pataputin. First, I will talk about David Julius, who is an American biochemist. He was born in New York on November 4th in 1955. His current age is 67 years old, and he studied biology at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Then he obtained a postgraduate degree in biochemistry at the University of California, where he is currently a professor, and he is considered the pioneer in the molecular analysis of nociceptors or pain receptors, which are receptors that respond to noxious stimuli by transmitting the message of pain. In the other hand, Artem Pataputin is an Armenian molecular biologist. He was born in Beirut, Lebanon on October 2nd, in 1976. 67, sorry. But later he had to immigrate to the United States due to the war in Lebanon. He's currently 55 years old. He studied science at the American University of Beirut for only 1 year, but because of the war, he had to continue his studies at the University of California. Then he obtained a postgraduate degree in biology from the California Institute of Technology. He is currently a professor and researcher at the Department of Neuroscience at the Scripps Research Institute of California. And the research work of Pataputin and his team has been developed around the sense of touch, and more specifically, to know how physical stimuli are perceived, such as temperature and pressure, and which molecules are responsible. In their collaboration, they discovered how those physical stimuli that we feel become exactly in pain, because we're alive and we know that we feel it, but not the biological mechanism of how it worked. In their efforts to identify the receptors that allow us to perceive temperature, pain, and pressure, they found the molecular and neural basis for thermal and mechanical sensations, from which we can offer alternatives in the study of treatment of pain. David Julius used capsaicin, a spicy compound in chili peppers that induce a burning sensation, to identify a sensor and nerve endings in the skin that responds to heat. And Artem Pataputin used pressure-sensitive cells to discover a new class of sensors that respond to mechanical stimuli in the skin and internal organs. These discoveries have rapidly increased our understanding of how our nervous system perceived heat, cold, and mechanical stimuli. One of the key points of the research was exactly this, where David Julius used capsaicin from peppers to identify how a painful heat activated this ion channel known as TRPV1. This channel remains closed at low temperatures and at room temperature, but when it is exposed to a stimulus greater than 43, no, 43 degrees Celsius, it opens. So we can perceive a painful head to respond to it. Based on the result of this research, it is speculated that uh, will be able to find new treatments for pain management and in the pharmacological area and the improvements of drugs that are based for this purpose. Finally, I would like to talk about the presentation of the book 1984 by the author George Orwell, which recounts the life of a man named Winston Smith, who lived in a society where political issues were untouchable and also radically controlled the way that people lived, choosing the things that to which they could have access or not, such as the media or personal hygiene utensils. In addition to controlling personal relationships, such as imposing that sex in marriage was exclusively a way to have children, it could not be committed for any other purpose. In summary, Winston meets a woman who, like him, opposes the party. They fall in love and they decide to take a risk together. So they meet every day in an apartment to be together and to see each other. Until one day they were discovered and taken to a prison or a kind of program that based on torture, they cured them to be able to put them back in society and force them to love this culture of repression. A very interesting book. Since there are several similarities to reality, of course, not that degree, but similar. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope this brief has been for your liking. Goodbye.